my name is Scryptar and welcome back to Glacial Awakening. This is actually the second time I'm trying to do this. Yes, I did record that episode like 3 days ago already, and while editing, it just didn't come out right. I sounded more like I didn't want to be here than anything else, and that's not quite true. As you can see, I made a water wheel. It's turning and twisting and doing things, and it's glorious. So we're gonna do this a second time, and this time I just announced it up front. This is probably going to be the last one. Yeah, this is where can I there? This is the last Glacial Awakening. Why? Well, because if we look at the pack here, we're in chapter 4. There's only one chapter really left. That's chapter 5. Then we have this weird thing where you have to craft the the ultima item. Let's just put it that way, like unending bowl. This is pretty much the creative tab if you wish, without having creative. Then there's this, the Energy Master, 100 billion FE RF, and you get a trophy. Yeah, I don't even know if you have to pipe that into some sort of battery or if that just counts while you're playing. I got this one. Weird number. I don't know if that's ticks or hours or years. No idea. I got it. And then Chemistry Master. Requires all of the periodic table chapter to be completed, which is this one. Craft every freaking periodic element. Not just once, look at that. 1024. Of pretty much all the things. That's just grindy stuff without having a real cause. I mean, we're not doing this because once we have this, we can craft whatever we want. No, that's not it. You know, it's not EMC or anything like that. Same here, we're crafting machines, but at the end, we're not getting anywhere with those machines. Once we have them, we can do whatever we want. Great. So far, when you look at this, I mean, there's no automation here. We were just trying to get resources to do anything at all. And over here we started smelting and magic and all that stuff, getting more resources, unlocking things. And then it became quite interesting because, you know, we have this small chapter up here for Astral Sorcery, which could have been its own chapter twice as big, and that's what we did. I mean, we have creative light on that. But at least this all had a purpose. It was leading us to the simple machine chassis, and the first bits and pieces of actual machinery that's not a cobbled furnace or something like that. And now, we're having the industrial machine chassis, which is all of this about. Getting the first bit of power, getting digital storage so you can get into auto-crafting, getting conduits for item transportation, resources, well, we didn't go that route, but you know, we could have. And then finally getting into steel and the industrial machine chassis. And now that we have that, it's like all of a sudden, boom, boom, there's the other two. The difference is between these two, you need a chapter as big as this to get there. Same here. Fission controller. Needs advanced plating and a nuclear furnace. Advanced plating is okay, we've done that before, it's fine. Nuclear furnace, yeah, that's also okay. It's the same basic ingredients. It's another freaking ritual to get a furnace, but I think we still have like 12 or so that's good. So that's not the big issue. But once you go from here to the next part, that, you need uranium-233. Okay, sulfur dust, yeah, that's easy. Advanced plating, we had that already, so that's fine. It's just this. So to get this, you need this. And to get that, you need to make this thing to get it from this, and this is, yeah, comes from that, and that goes from the isotope separator from something fuel. And yeah, this goes on. I actually made a list up here, so to get the uranium-233, which we need to advance further to make this, the big plating, we need to get the tiny clumps of uranium, those. And those we get from depleted TBU fuel. From the fuel reprocessor, there we go, 16 of them. So that's one machine we need to make. It's not too bad. It's okay, actually. Tough alloy, yeah. You know, that thing. Steel and something. Lithium, right. So, okay, depleted TBU fuel. How do you get depleted TBU fuel? You get that in a fission reactor, which is not that thing, that thing. Which is a multi-block. Of course it is. Yes. So there's another mini-game to play for the multi-block for that one, which is actually not that easy. It costs quite a while. So then it needs to process, and we're getting radiation poisoning, so we need a hazmat suit to wear, or what's the other thing? Rat away? Not right away, it's rat away. That. Removes 300 rats at a rate of 5 rats per tick. So yeah, that cleans you once you get radiated. Oh man. So TBU fuel, right? That's that. Comes from thorium-232. Thorium? Thorium? Thorium. The thing with the hammer. Thorium, right? Okay, so we get that from tiny clumps. Or we get that here. From thorium dust. Well, and thorium dust obviously comes from thorium ingots, which we can make by that. Something. Yeah, so all of this, just to have to process this, which takes ages to get to this, so we can have it decay to get this at some point, and we need a bunch of that. We need 4 here, and remember, it comes from tiny clumps. One of these is 16 of these, so that's not 2. That's not even 2 of these. So we need 2 and a bit of these to make one of these plates, and guess what? Every recipe basically needs 4. Not every, but the important ones. Okay, this we also would need then, heavy radiation shielding. Yeah, so to make a number of these, you would actually have to set up an automatic way of making that happen, and that will take, like, I don't even know, 4 episodes? Something. So we're not going to go that route. What else is left in here if we were to do that? So once we have that, we can go enhanced machine chassis. This thing we already have. Last try doing this episode, I made that one and that one. I mean, come on. It's simple, right? We have all that. That's really easy crafting right there. See, I remember stuff. And this one, that's even easier. We have end steel already, and end steel bars is just like, steel bars just with end steel. We have those up there where the crystal is glowing. You can see the end steel bars. Yeah, I had those just for decorative purposes because they look cool. They fit the marble, I think. Okay, so then, once we have that, we get into the Empowerer, which again is one of those machines that I don't even know if I hate it or if I like it. Yeah, it's not a multi-block. It consists of 5 parts. You have the power in the middle and then 4 display stands around, and then you can just put ingredients on there and then it does magic and then you get a different item. Yeah. And that you need to make all of these machines. And this would really make sense going into mechanism. I've been saying that I'm looking forward to that because I wanted to do a mechanism generator, which is not in the pack. Yep, it's disabled. I'm not gonna do it. No, wrong button. That's wow. Let's try that. Here I am. Rock me like a star constellation. Anyway, we have this thing. It took me about an hour to set it up, including watching a tutorial to make it spin as fast as it can. I'm not gonna explain it. It's on YouTube somewhere out there, and it's making 89 RF per tick. Yeah, that's right. That thing is making as much as 2 of the windmills. Those things over there, which I removed. They are not here anymore. I did make that one bigger, getting more mob drops, because I was looking forward to some more gunpowder to make more stuff. Blaze powder and such, and yeah, we probably don't need it. I also tried this guy over here. That is the electric furnace from Magnetic Craft. It did work for a while and then stopped for some reason. Might just be there's no power on these lines anymore. That could be a thing, because I haven't been reusing them really. Anyway, other than that, there's the time trophy. There's nothing much up here, so let's go down and let's have a look at the real thing. So first of all, let's go over here and ignore all the rest. I moved the arc furnace. I moved the arc furnace down here. Power from the back. There's an output down there to put all the stuff into storage once we put it in there. I moved the press over here. That's actually a copy. The other one is still above. I just put everything in here and then it gets fed into here and taken out once it's done. That over there is the RF transformer. I have a conduit attached to that, and since this block is touching on the side where that copper nub is for the cable, it gets power directly from there, max speed. So we're not held down. We're not held down. That's the one by something. What the heck? Oh, that's a new Patreon. Look at that. The pleasure of using the same recording and streaming software. Yeah, you're getting that. There's another one. Wow, they're coming like flies today. Awesome. Over here is our atomic reconstructor. And what you can do with that, I mean, you've probably seen it, right? You've used that before. If you're watching this pack and you haven't used that before, you're doing something wrong. Pretty sure, because that is in pretty much every pack. There you go. What we do is we take this, throw it on there, and then it transforms it into a Nori crystal. Lovely, lovely. Which I can put into here. There you go. Yep. That's done. There's more cables here for more machines. Let's see if we need them. I don't know. There's a bunch of things over here. Let's start here. We're getting more RF than that water wheel and that one windmill is making. Like I said, I was a little bit disappointed when I made that and figured out that it isn't really doing anything. We would have needed a bunch of those to get this going. So the first thing I did is come up with this. And again, I'm not going to explain all of this because otherwise we will be still here in 45 minutes. Yeah, so what do we have? We have a plantation down here and some machines. There is a plant gatherer over there which is gathering all the drops, so seeds and fruits. That gets moved over into here. Anything that doesn't go in here, there's a conduit behind the wall because we do have our burst chamber over here, and that just connects directly to one of those hoppers and then, you know, back into storage down there. Yep, easy peasy. The rest goes in here, the bioreactor. The more different items this has, the more of a bonus on efficiency it gets. So if you were only putting potatoes in here, you would get like half of that. It's producing biofuel. One of these reactors, when it's going full tilt, can run biofuel generators. A lot of them. 28. It's what the wiki says, it's what the book says, so I did 28 of those, and they're all connected. There's fluid pipes down there, pumping the stuff in. These are making energy. I don't know exactly how much. I think it's 160 RF per tick per. And for these, you know, there are slots, but it's not upgrade slots. You can't make them faster or more efficient. So 28 times 160, you can do the math. We are doing a lot of energy. Some of these machines that we need here to make this grow faster and such, yeah, they use some energy, obviously. But still, we should be getting out ahead with quite a bit of electricity. So I thought, yeah. And then I thought, well, there must be another way that's easier and more sustainable. Shut up. And then I came up with this. A bunch of bonsai pods, which we had forever and ever, and they are just connected to these NIO conduits. And what I'm getting is the logs and the sticks. I'm not allowing any other drops. I don't know what's happening with these drops, if they just are stuck somewhere. These conduits don't have an internal inventory, so I just guess if one of these bonsais is generating, let's say, an apple, it just disappears because it can't go anywhere. Yeah, but we're getting logs and we're getting sticks. What are we doing with those? Well, the logs go in here and they make charcoal. I'm using the alloy smelter because it can do 3 at a time. With an octadic capacitor, as you can see, it's doing like 3 per second, or 1.5 seconds. It's going quite fast. That is put into here. Directly output into the quick dropper and into the combustion chamber down there. Which is actually fed, that's a steel combustion thing, that's fed by those sticks, which we don't need for anything else. And there's a timer here that gives it a tick, or a pulse, like every, I don't know, 5 seconds or so I set it up. And that converts the charcoal into coal, which is really good. We're collecting that here, which is actually full. This one has a void upgrade because this will keep going. There's no way I can tell this machine to stop, at least not a fast way that I could set up in 5 minutes, so yeah. We're just voiding X's because we don't need it. Then we have the crafter, which is pulling from the left the charcoal blocks and the charcoal, well, items, and making hardened coal blocks. Look at the burn time of that. That's a coal block, 16,000 ticks. That's 128,000 ticks. Yup, putting those over in here. And then we have one single machine. That, which is paused. That's the petrified fuel generator. Of course I would mess that up. I mean, it's me, right? Talking about me here. This thing. Usually it goes by burn time, right? It has a burn time of this and that many ticks. This thing burns everything in, I think, 38 seconds or 37 seconds. Let's let it run and see what happens, because this will go down someday. You're not using all of that power, that's the problem. This will go down and reset with the next item. 3 seconds. Maybe 2. And leave it there. No, just kidding. There you go. 37 seconds. No matter what you burn. It could be a stick. Instead, it is increasing the RF output you get per item. This is 6,400 RF per tick, which is about 1.5 times what we're doing over there. Which is about 100 times the water wheel. 150 times, actually. Something like that, right? No, the water wheel is producing 80. I was thinking 40. Forget it. Do your math on your own. Yeah, that's how we're doing right now. So this thing is doing all the power we ever need. And all you need is this. We could expand this. We could make another floor down there and just put down, I don't know, 500 bonsai. Or we could put down some industrial foregoing machines and actually plant real trees and harvest real trees and get more than just 1 log per bonsai pot by chance. So yeah, that might be more efficient. Then again, it's proof of concept. It's working fine. We don't need any of that power, as you can see. I'm also generating some ores over here. Look, we're getting stuff like that. Aquamarine shale, which we wouldn't get otherwise. And how are we doing that? Let's come down to our squid farm, which for some reason isn't producing that much as I had hoped, but then again, it's okay, we have a lot. There you go. We are having lasers. There's a laser base over here, and there's a laser drill over here. We have 4 of those. Whenever these have enough power and they tick, they send a work tick over here. And when that is full, whoop, you could just see it in the background there. There was some quartz, some other quartz dropping. This will just randomly generate an ore. There are some rules to it. Yeah, not, again, gonna get into it, because otherwise you'll be sitting here in half an hour. You need these 4 laser drills going into that laser base, and then you just let it run. Just give it power. A lot. Alright, what else is new? I moved these machines over here. Now this is a nifty setup because you don't need any filters or anything. As soon as you have one of these 3 slots filled in with something, there's only one recipe that fits. So as soon as you have one of the presses in here, the system knows what else can go in there. It doesn't allow anything else in there. So for this one over here, there's nothing in here, so it put the printed silicon and the redstone in here. And it's waiting for the circuits that these 3 are making. And this one is making the silicon. It's full, that's why it doesn't output. So we have redstone over there, we have silicon there, and then the other 3 ingredients that we need. So I could come down here, put in some gold. Let's actually do that. Also, I have a panel over here, look at that. Lovely terminal. Gold. Let's grab a stack. And put that stack in here. Take it out, put into here, because that's the press, the logic press. It's printing the circuit. Automatically going into here. Also using up some printed silicon, so this one started moving again, making more printed silicon. And when that's done, you can hear it already in the background. Just that. It's pretty nice. You only get what you need, because you only get as much as you put in here. So if you need a stack of circuits, you just make a stack. Same principle over here. All of these machines don't really need any filters to pull out or put in. This will only ever allow fully grown crystals to go out. So you can put the seed in here and just have a conduit always on, output everything, and it won't be able to pick those seeds up. Only when stuff is fully grown. So that's a manual process. Again, if I need if I need any of those crystals, I just have to make the seeds and put them in here by myself. Over here, you see the crystals. They are being fed into the charger. Yeah, that's the thing. And the charger is connected down there to power. And again, all of that goes into the quick dropper down there. When it's done, no need to worry about anything. It's lovely. And there's some more stuff. Yeah, we're getting into auto crafting where I thought we would be. So I have the crafting unit set up. There's a lot of tutorials for that. Not gonna get into it. I have some interfaces here that are connected to the different machines. When you look in here, there's 1 or 2 recipes in here, like encoded pattern for tough alloy, which needs ferroboron alloy, which is right here. So I can go in here and say, I need some tough alloy. Craft me 100. And it says, yeah, can do. Well, you know, half the rest, it's fine. And then this pattern in here will tell this machine, take these ingredients and make things. And this machine is set to output to the top, so it's putting this back into the interface, which is putting it back into the system. And up here, we have a little crafting monitor, so you can actually see what's happening. Now, if we were to make anything else, anything that doesn't need a specific machine, just a crafting grid, that's set up over here. Molecular assemblers, interfaces, the whole shebang. That's the usual setup, right? We're also using all the channels over here. Yeah, that's 32 of 32. That's connected here, and then underground I have another one running that goes over here. One there, one there. And that's a total of 32 being used right now. So we could do all the auto crafting that we need. Not all of it, but a lot of it. If I had it set up, you know. I haven't been making all the patterns I could. Please, wow. Field of view changes due to my speed increase, due to my lovely perks, and standing on a block becomes quite difficult. Yes. Yeah, see, that's the amount of patterns I used. There was a stack in here, so I used, what, 7. Lovely. Let's look it up. Down here, how to make charcoal, how to make stuff. Yeah, plates, that's it. That's the 7. And everything else should still be connected. Yeah, it's looking good. Creosote oil, liquid XP, all good. So, where does that leave us right now, 20 minutes into the video? Well, I said already, if we look at the quest line, we could now get into the fission controller, which is an episode by itself just to set it up and explain it, because it is a multi-block. It is a reactor that you have to set up. It needs to be sort of cube-ish, you know, 3x3x3 or something like that to start out with. And then you need to fill the inside of that reactor with different materials. Let's see. Let's at least have a quick look at it before you go on YouTube and look it up. So there is coolers, and there's reactor cells, and then there is the reactor casing around the outside. So let's see. That is relatively easy to make. It's, you know, tough alloy. And a lot more graphite, so a lot more grinding and waiting for machines to finish. Reactor cells, that's just glass and tough alloy, so again, same grinding. And for all these different cooling options that we have here, it's, yeah, well, you know, it's a redstone cooler, it needs redstone. Guess what? That's a gold cooler, it needs gold. And an empty cooler in the middle, which is a lot of steel and tough alloy. Again, more grinding. Glowstone, yeah. So why are there different ones, and what do you do with them? Well, if you hover over them, press shift, you see they have a cooling rate. So this reactor is obviously producing heat when it's running. To have it run more efficiently, you are going to generate more heat. For that, you need the coolers. You want to get the heat down to 0 or below, so that you can leave it running without accumulating heat, because otherwise it explodes and destroys your little island. That's what happens. Yes. So, this cooler, however, it says it right there, must be adjacent to at least one reactor cell or active moderator block. So, reactor cell is that. Use the fission reactors to house the fission fuels. Yes. There are restrictions to those as well. Okay. So you can't place these anywhere. They need to be attached to one of those cells or a moderator block. Like that. A graphite block is a moderator block. That, I think, increases the efficiency. Okay, so yeah, can do that. Okay, so how about these? Must be adjacent to at least one valid water cooler and one valid redstone cooler. So you need to place these, but you need to place them in the way as indicated here. So this one close to a reactor cell, this one to a reactor cell or moderator, and then you can place this one touching one of those. You see that, right? And each of these have different heat decrease values and different rules. And yes, there are videos, and I think there's even a configurator somewhere on the internet where you just say, well, I have a reactor, it's 9x9x16, make it as best as you can, and then it tells you where to put stuff. Yeah, which is basically what I would do. I could figure this out and sit there for 2 hours, or I could just take a template that somebody else has done and that pretty much everybody is using, everybody who knows how Reddit works. So, we're not gonna get into that. No, I refuse. It's just what I do. Okay, but if we had that, we could get into this, make the DU plating with the depleted fuel stuff thing. Then we could finally get into this, which needs 2 of those. We've already figured that out, right? So what else is there? That's the enhanced one. Then we still have the soulless machine chassis. With that, we have all the machine chassis and we can craft all the machines. Unless we're missing some other ingredient. Which we shouldn't, because we should be able to craft the machine that makes that ingredient. You're still with me, right? Soul machine chassis, easy, we already have some of those. We made that in the past. Industrial insulation. Oh, that's just lapis and wool and tin. Yeah, that's also easy. Fine. That needs the Guardian Diode, which is a slice and splice, which we have. Yes, it's just a Soul Machine chassis and, a head, really. Energetic Alloy. Yup, no problem. Prismarine Shard. Well, now we have that. No problem at all. Prismarine Crystals. I think we can get that, yeah. Glass and Nether Quartz, that's one way of doing it. Or you can just grind the shards in a 1-to-1 ratio, that also works. Okay, sure. And silicon we already have, because applied energistics, we need it for that. So again, easy to do. And then we have that. This is actually easy to do. This is just a pain in the butt, to be quite honest. And then when you look at all the machines you can make with them, there's 12 pages with 3 items each, and there's weird stuff. And then there's the good machines, the enhanced version of the sag mill, and the enhanced version of the alloy smelter, and the wired charger, and all that, and wireless transfer for freaking things. Okay, sure. Also that? Yes. Let's see what this thing can do. Empowerer. So you put these 4 ingredients on and that in the middle, and then you get that. Yes, empowered Restonia is something we definitely need, same as the empowered Palace, which is lapis, and the empowered Diamondine, which is emeralds. No, just kidding, it's diamond, obviously. I mean, the name says it, right? And iron. It needs a button, of all things. Is it like, really? A button? Can you click on this one then? Okay, sure. Void crystals we need for a couple of machines. Well, that one, not necessarily that one. And there's more stuff. There's all kinds of stuff, including the really weird things like empowered canola seeds, which you can throw in crystallized oil to get empowered oil, which you can use for the combustion generator to make tons of energy. Well, 400 micro I per tick, so 400 IF per tick. If you're doing 6,000, what's the point? I think we already have the best power generation in the game, and now it's just powering machines that we don't need for anything anymore. That's a bit of a pity, because looking at this mod pack, there always was a reason for doing things. I mean, I said it in the beginning, if you go through here, this is getting your basic resources, this is getting to your advanced resources, you can finally do stuff, this is getting automation started at the very least. And then when you arrive here, you can really do autocrafting and all the things to make it easier for you, but why are you making it easier in Chapter 4 when you really needed it at the very latest in Chapter 2? Beginning of Chapter 2, because it was already getting quite complicated and grindy. And the only thing you can do now is take the grind out to make machines that you don't need for anything, other than completing these ridiculous things. It's like, no. So it's not like I'm annoyed or anything. I really enjoyed the mod pack. It was something different from all the others I've played so far. I hate the snow and I can't stand it anymore. I can't see it anymore. There's nothing we can do. We can do a weather obelisk later that changes the weather, but it doesn't really change the biome. There's no biome changer. We can't really heat this up. Well, I can put torches everywhere, but you see how well that worked, right? It's still snow blocks. I would have to remove all the snow blocks, put something else down, like grass blocks, and then make sure I have enough torches, like I have spammed down there, and still, it doesn't always work. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. So what am I gonna do instead? Well, I'm ending the series here, and we're gonna take a little break from Minecraft, actually, and what we're gonna do next is we're gonna play a little bit of 7 Days to Die. Yep, I'm pretty hooked right now. I'm playing multiplayer with Tank on Twitch TV/Scryptar. Make sure to catch me once in a while there. I'm always announcing that on Twitter and on Discord, so, there's another hint for you. And I'm basically waiting for Minecraft 1.15. When that is out, we might have something bigger in store. I'm trying to get the crazy folks together to get a server set up where we can do some stuff. We'll see how that turns out. I mean, we're not the Hermitcraft guys. We won't probably get 20 people together to play on a regular basis. We all have jobs and such. But we will see. You never know. And maybe, if I'm really bored on a weekend and I come back to this world and do some stuff, maybe there is another episode in like half a year showing you what this looks like when it's done. Don't count on it. So I thank everybody very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I have up to this point. And we see each other in 7 Days to Die, or when the next fancy mod pack comes out. It's currently really nothing I would like to play, that's a bit of an issue. And otherwise, you know, I'll catch you around. Have a good one. Bye bye.